Hello. Good to see you folks. Goofiest of goobers. Hi guys, welcome in. Nuclear Goji edits, welcome in. Always good to see you. Thralling for real glory. Hello. Sean Postal. I said I'll be there first thing and I keep my promises, Sean. You're a real one. Thank you so much for being here. What's good, Aidenzilla? Good to see you, man. How you doing? Ariane, Thursday night football? Nah, Thursday night Canuck, Canadian flag. Good to see you, man. Hope the weather's good in San Diego. Trap Jira Productions, good to see you. Been a while since. It has been a while. It has been a long while. Things have been quite busy, but managed to find some time to be here. Jax is here. Stone sliding sound. Hello, welcome in, Jax. Christopher Vasquez, hello, welcome in. Zilla Jam, hey man, how's it going tonight? It's going pretty good, man. Saw you hyping things up in the Discord. That was great. Vanilla Man, yo, hello, Vanilla Man. The legend has returned. The legend is you, Patrick Zillion. Welcome in. Good to see you. Godzilla Short, good to see you too. Fluffy Turtle, always watch the upload after, but this is my first time watching live. Welcome in, Fluffy Turtle. Good to see you. Cascade, my boy Lataro. Good to see you, man. Everyone's favorite mod. Best mod in the world. September has been a busy month for Super 7. That is true. It has been a busy month. Man. What is it? Centuries End Godzilla, Burning Godzilla reissue, Reaction, Wave 9, and then I think we're going to round out with some plushies at the end of the month. The Mothra and the Godzilla. So that's yeah, that's pretty cool. Rick the Squirrel, how's it been? Gonna be making a quick video for either tomorrow or Saturday. You on board with it? Gonna be about boycotting X Plus. Well, how's it been? Life has been very busy. Definitely wanted to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, you and I were talking about the X Plus video. When you say if I'm on board with it, like I'm cool with you doing it. Yeah, man, you do you. I love Rick's sense of humor. Super Mecha Godzilla 21, welcome in. King of Mars is here. Better be a good stream. I stopped my workout for this. Well, that's a lot of pressure, Julian. That's a lot of pressure. Now it has to be a good stream. I was just going to put out some slop. Meme Master James, hello, welcome in. Aidenzilla, hold on. Goji Jojo, hello everyone. Aidenzilla, Exquisite Mega Godzilla line for Hiya. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw this, but on the Hiya website, actually, am I able to just, maybe I'll just bring it up. Because, you know, guys, like, seeing is believing. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go. All right. Present. Let's do... Am I not allowed to pick that one? There we go. Okay, guys. So here's what we're talking about. Aidenzilla's comment here. If you go to the Hiya Toys website, you see all this great stuff. Behemoth, Monster X. We love all that. This I'm not so sure about. But when you go down to series, Exquisite Mini, Exquisite Basic, Exquisite Super, Exquisite Mega. Exquisite Mega. There are no products in this collection. That's not to be confused with Exquisite Super, which they have quite a few things. Some higher end, you know, humanoid characters. But we have Exquisite Mega. Yeah. Yeah. What do it mean? What do it mean indeed? So, okay. Here are my thoughts. King of Mars, release date 2030. Brother. Oh, man. Okay, so Exquisite Mega. I think it's going to be this guy. Hold on. It's going to be this guy. The 12-inch articulated Godzilla action figure. That's my honest to God prediction for what Exquisite Mega is. Shout out to Harold from Figure Mania Show. He has been advocating in telling Hiya, like, hey, you guys should do 12-inch Godzilla figures, and they very well might be doing it. So that's what's up. That's what's up. It's going to be 12-inch figures probably, yeah. Are we getting giant Godzilla figures again? I think so. Huge-ass Godzilla incoming. I'll be definitely love the Mega line. It would honestly be kind of a power move for it to just be a huge blow mold figure. Oh my gosh, so like Super Shogun? That would be fun. Wow. Chico, hey KaijuCanuck. Hello, Chico. Welcome in. Good to see you. Was the light up legendary Godzilla branded as something different or still Exquisite Basic Plus? Exquisite Basic Plus. Yeah, that's a different category. It's not listed there in that drop down. Upscaled size Shimo for the Exquisite Mega. Ooh. I guess it could be that. Although I think Exquisite Basic Plus might make more sense for that. That's what I'm thinking. Will it be a Monsterverse release? Presumably. Monsterverse seems to be Hiya's bread and butter. I'm not going to buy a giant Hiya. That's okay, man. Don't worry about it. Josh Nutt, I would love to see this in either a 12 or 24-inch scale. Wow. Yeah, that's what we're thinking this is going to be. Oh, Lataro, you bought the SH2000. When are you getting it? Something is wrong with audio. Audio is good now. Okay, I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe I just have to move it closer. I have come ashore. Welcome in, Shrimp. Ebira himself. I'm Gojira is the goated goober, but I changed my channel name and profile picture. Sounds good, homie. Michael from the Articulation series is here. Now we can start. That's right. Everything here was just a warm-up, guys. Just a pre-show. Michael here. He's the main event. Right? It's all here for Michael. All right. So your Monster Arts Godzilla 2000 comes in November. Nice. Good stuff. Yeah. So Michael is going to be doing a variance comparison. And I asked him if I could buy one of the ones that he is buying for the variance comparison. So I'm hoping, above all else, that Michael can send me the most purple one. That would be dope. I understand if you can't. If they do this like how NECA did the 24-inch Godzilla 2014, we're going to be eating good. That is the $1 million question. Is that what it's going to be? Well, they haven't even formally announced an Exquisite Mega line on their socials. This just showed up on their website. So we'll have to see. Maybe they'll... I don't know if they're going to be at New York Comic Con. They might be, but maybe something will come up. One question. Do you think it's still okay to get the old SHMA 2000 Godzilla even with the much better new one? What do you mean is it okay? Like, if you want that figure, go get that figure. Who's gonna... Do you think that your favorite YouTuber is going to like come through the monitor and beat you over the head with a newspaper? Like, dude, just get the figures you want. Love the figures you love. It's all good, man. Meme Master James, I realized that Hiya can milk the 95 mold like Tamashi did. Burning G, Heat Ray Burning G, Adult Junior, Steam Burning G, all orange Burning G, and some weird recolors. Listen, James, I don't know that you need to provide Hiya with more reasons to do repaints, but I do think that you're correct. I do want to buy a mega figure from Hiya, but I do not have the space for it. I definitely agree with you there. I don't think I have space for a mega line either, but I am very curious to see what they do. Articulation series here, $20 says Shin Robjiro shows up too. Yeah, Rob might already be lurking. We'll have to see. Depends how badly he wants that $20. I don't know if you've ever said this, but what is your favorite NECA Godzilla figure? The 1954. Yeah, the 1954 I think was like NECA's prime. Yeah, I like their 1989 too. Actually, the 1989 was really good. But the head kind of threw it off for me a little bit. I think the 1954 is like really good though, really solid. What's everyone's wish for the next Hiya Toho line reveal? I mean, I think it has to be Burning Godzilla. If it's not Burning Godzilla, I think the next logical one would be either Kyu to go with Godzilla 2002 or Godzilla 2004 to go with Monster X. That's what I would expect, but I think Burning Godzilla is most likely. Your entire shelf is full. I feel that, man. I recently got all my stuff out of storage again, and I am looking to sell a bunch of stuff on eBay because I just don't have room for everything anymore. You think we'll get a Shimo 2.0 making her size accurate? It's a great question. To be honest, I'm surprised that they haven't done a Frostbite Blast version of Shimo yet, which makes me think that they are doing something larger, maybe an Exquisite Basic Plus. But we'll see. El Rey, hello. Imagine if Hiya kicks off this new line with Godzilla 1998. Unlikely, but one could hope. Yeah, man, just like one big fuck off Godzilla 1998. That's the first one on the market. That would be hilarious. Hiya isn't going to milk the 91 sculpt, but they are definitely going to milk the new Burning 95 sculpt that was revealed at SDCC. I agree with that. Hiya Exquisite Mega, it will fit on your bed and nowhere else. No, that'll be reserved for Exquisite Giga. Right, Exquisite Giga. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Hiya has rebranded the Stylist series. It used to be called Exquisite Stylist. It is now called just Stylist. I think that they're just trying to differentiate the articulated lines from the non-articulated lines. Kaiju O'Danny. Hey, KaijuCanuck. Hey, Kaiju O'Danny. How you... Yeah, you're fine, apparently. Man, a Hiya Kiryu would be sweet. I agree with that. Hiya Toys Burning Godzilla. I want it. Coming to you in 2027. A Hiya Varan would be sick. What is your least favorite Hiya figure? What is my least favorite Hiya figure? If you're talking about figures that I actively own, I don't know, man. I like all of them. Maybe the Energized Godzilla? Like, I never picked up the Hiya Mothra because I have the NECA Mothra, and the NECA Mothra was less than half the price of the Hiya one. So that's like my least favorite Hiya that I haven't purchased. Hiya Toys Shin Godzilla when? Next year is the 10-year anniversary. I expect there will be a lot of celebration of Shin. Let's see. Think about it. 92, 94, Atomic. Yes. I think we're all on the same page. Hiya's gonna milk some sculpts. That's good. That's gonna happen. I really hope Hiya reveals Shin, even if it comes out in 2090. That's funny. All this new line, but for some reason, Hiya has yet to reveal their Mecha Goji. It's so funny, man. Like, when I interviewed them, I was like, hey, like, is Mecha Godzilla still on the table? They were just like, ah. I'm excited for Final Wars Goji from Hiya. Final Wars Goji is my favorite Goji of all time. When it gets revealed, I will definitely be pre-ordering. I think there's a lot of people who are big on that suit, Godzilla 2004, which is interesting because that was never one that I was super into, but you know, we'll see. From the figures we saw at SDCC, what order do you think their solicitation will come in? So I know that Tiamat will be last because they haven't even figured out what they're doing with Tiamat, if she'll be articulated traditionally or if she'll be bendy wire. I could see the fact they got Behemoth first out was really interesting, but I could see the Warbat coming before Scar King, because I think I feel like they have to go back and give Scar King the Whip Slash. I think that not including the Whip Slash with Scar King is like a death wish, personally. So I think as they're doing that, they'll solicit Warbat. Those are my thoughts on that. What are your thoughts on Hiya finally nailing the eyes on Godzilla 91 with their Heat Ray release? It took them a few tries, but I actually do like how the Heat Ray looks, the Heat Ray head sculpt. And Hiya has sent me a review sample. I'm hoping to get it in next week to take a look at it. What figures would you like added to this new Mega series? I'd love a Ghidorah, Shin, or Mechagodzilla 21, all coming. Either way, lights and other potential goodies. Okay, so it really depends on what Exquisite Mega is. If Exquisite Mega is just 12-inch Godzillas, then, like, okay, I don't have room for a lot of them. So, yeah, like, Shin would be cool. I think that GMK is one that I would want, you know, a 1954, but I would be very picky and choosy. If Mega is just, like, the new name for, let's say, like, King Ghidorah, right? Like, sizes, releases of that size, then, oh my gosh, like, give me a Destroyer, give me a Beast Form Biollante, give me all that good stuff. So it depends. It depends. Jax, what is the deal with this new XP system? It's stressing me the fuck out. Yeah, I think that's a YouTube thing. I'm streaming through StreamYard right now. I don't actually see what it looks like on YouTube. But I have kind of peeked when I've peeked into like Michael's live streams. I have kind of seen it. I don't know how it works though. Funny thing is, I kind of predicted that Burning Godzilla 95 would be in Q4 of 2026. Yeah, I mean, that seems like a very reasonable thing. Like Monster X is Q4 of 2026, and he was revealed at the same time as Burning Godzilla, so that makes sense. What is your favorite Monster Arts figure, and you have to own it? Well, that's gonna limit my options quite a bit, because the only two Monster Arts figures I have right now, I think. This guy. That's my favorite one. Which is gonna get me, like, you know, smack talked, because I know a lot of people don't like that sculpt. Have you thought about how by the time Hiya Scar King comes out, we'll probably already have a test screening for Supernova? Julian, I'm going to take this one step further, okay? Monster X is solicited for Q4 2026. It is entirely possible that Scar King does not come out like into your hands until after Supernova. Mind-boggling. I was gonna hold off on the SH burning until I was told the Hiya wasn't trans. I'm gonna assume you mean translucent, so I got the SH one. Yeah, so it does sound like their plan is to make it a solid opaque plastic, which is unfortunate. Hopefully they change their mind on that. I really hope that they do. Kong 2017 was a big mess up in the looks department. Kong 2017 is the weakest in terms of accuracy, but he still looks okay and he poses so well. Okay, I maintain that KSI Kong from Hiya is a great toy, even if it's like super inaccurate. Like, it's definitely not KSI Kong. Super fun toy though, and a huge step up from their previous Kong in terms of like articulation. NECA Mothra stand, kind of sick though. I agree with that. At this point, GTA 6 will come out before Hiya Mecha Godzilla. That's true. Hiya should milk me. That's an oddly sexual comment. Hiya toys Gorosaurus and Anguirus. I want Hiya toys of my favorite Earth Defenders. That would be pretty cool. Yes. Patrick, Shin Godzilla is 10 years old next year. Yes. Yes, it is. Enjoy it. Do you feel the creak in your bones and your joints? Your knees popping a little bit? That's how it goes. Yes, my prediction of Final Wars Godzilla be a Q2 of 2026 or possibly Q3, since Scar King could be a Q3 of 2026. I don't know, man. Like, there wasn't even a Final Wars Godzilla at San Diego Comic-Con. I don't think there's any way it's coming out in 2026. Also, my cat profile picture is one of the stray cats me and my family feed, and the other cat is on my channel banner. That is very nice. Trapture, imagine the mega figures are the size of the giant Mechagodzilla 2014 figure. Yeah, that would be pretty dope. Ooh, there's a lot of comments. I've been gone so long. There's a lot to catch up on. Happy to say that tomorrow I'll be receiving a package with SH Monster Arts Burning Godzilla, and at the beginning of next week, Hiya King Ghidorah 91. That is a great time to be receiving mail, King of Mars. I hope that you enjoy both of those figures. I hope Hiya gives us more Monster Hunter World figures I could do with more dragons on my shelf. Yeah, they're waiting to see how Nerd Gigante does. If people seem to like it, I think they're ready to go all in. They should reveal a Hiya Type 3 Kiryu figure. I'm sure that they will be. I better not be paying $50 for an all bendy wire figure. If you're talking about Warbat, I think that's exactly what you'll be doing, Patrick, if you do end up buying it. So, I'm sorry to say, but that does look like the plan. I can't wait for a Hiya Zilla if they even make it. That would be very cool. Okay, let's see. Hey, just came to your stream. Welcome in, Shin Godzilla 2014. What non-announced Hiya figure would you want the most? Titanosaurus or Ebirah? Okay, Tiamat was one that I was really like rooting for, and we're getting Tiamat, which I'm stoked on. Okay, those are the other ones I'm looking forward to. I'm debating on getting Heat Ray 91. The blue one, it looks sweet. Look forward to the review. Thank you, Zilla Jam. I'm hoping to get it next week in the mail and hopefully be able to take a look. Is Hiya doing Suko? If so, wouldn't it be most convenient if they just put him in a 2-pack with Scar King? They still might do that. Who knows? Let's see. Just give me Godzilla Evolved Mega. As long as he's translucent, that's cool. I was short on space, so I sold most of my Monster Arts Monsterverse figures I own. I did keep my Mecha Godzilla, and it scales great with the Hiya Monsterverse line. I do agree that the Monster Arts Mecha Godzilla is a good figure. Probably one of the better ones that have come out of Monsterverse. And yeah, it does scale well with Hiya. If they succeed with Tiamat, they must be making Drowned Viper. That's an interesting idea. Who's to say Hiya Mega will even have Godzilla? Could be entirely different IPs. Yes, that is true, Michael. That is true. You're pooping in my Raisin Bran a little bit, but that is true. Where is my Hiya Gendora? Random manga kaiju that no one knows. I think you've answered the question yourself. One thing puzzles me about Hiya's Warbat. Why the one from GXK? They had much more screen time in GVK than GXK. I don't know. Maybe they are using the files from GXK and that's how they got to it. I'm not sure, actually. I'm just saying when Exquisite Mega releases a Ghidorah, I'm 100% going to get it and make the world's first accurate-sized Void Ghidorah figure. Void Ghidorah would be pretty cool. You can turn the XP feature off in settings. There you go. BBTS has now finally Hayatoi Shimo. Thank goodness. It's been so long. I reviewed that figure 5 months ago, guys. That's too much. How much XP do I need to get a free Godzilla figure? I don't even know how much XP people are getting. They don't show me this on StreamYard. Ariane, fingers crossed we get Hiya Mega 89 Koji and 93 Mecha Godzilla. No. Fuck. Every line. Hey, Keemstar, have you met Squidora? I have met Squidora. He's a nice guy. KaijuCanuck, what is your favorite Bandai movie monster series figure? Their 2023 Titanosaurus. Yep, I got that one. Anniversary Burning Godzilla should have had a better tail. It's still way too stiff, and I hate it. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, those older tails on the Monster Arts are a real drag. I have the first Monster Art Godzilla in my closet, and it's just super stiff. Doesn't really want to move. Thoughts on Hiya Tiamat figure? The uncolored resin sculpt or wax prototype, whatever it was, looks fantastic. I'm very curious to see how they articulate it. Hiya really needs to stop announcing figures so early. It's getting really annoying, especially with them announcing better versions soon after. Yeah, man. Yeah, it'd be nice if they stopped doing that, wouldn't it be? Did you get a new car? New chair? No. Same chair, but my sweater's draped over it, so that might be why it looks like that. Corey is here. Welcome in, Corey. Good to see you, man. The Beast from the West. I was hoping to say Beast from the East, but he's not out east. Wait, so do you know anything else about the Hiya Scar King? Also, is Hiya's Burning Godzilla going to be translucent? So Hiya, in my interview with them, said that the Burning Godzilla will be opaque plastic. Might be a miscommunication, like a language barrier, but that is the response that was clarified over email, so we'll see. Do I know anything else about the Hiya Scar King? No, I don't know anything else about the Hiya Scar King. I know that the weapon, they said, may come with it because it's still a work in progress, but I think that it has to come with the whip. I think it has to. I don't think people are going to buy it. They're going to wait for the version with the whip. I'd really love for Hiya to get the Gamera license. I agree. That would be so cool. And I think that this speaks to, honestly, like the biggest problem with the Monster Arts Legion. Okay? The Monster Arts Legion has all these moving pieces. It's got magnets in it. You can put it into flight mode. You can, all this cool stuff. Like, Legion clearly looks like a case where they wanted to go hard and make like the definitive best Legion figure that they could, and they're charging a price that they think people will pay for it, and people have paid for it. The biggest problem with the Monster Arts Legion is not its price tag. It's not the quality control. It's nothing like that. The problem is that there isn't a competitor like Hiya at a lower price point. Okay, like I don't need magnets in my articulated action figure. I don't need a Legion that can be put into flight mode. Okay, like I would take a Legion with much less articulation, fewer features, if it meant getting it at a much more affordable price, like 120, 150 bucks, like you might expect from Hiya. So, yes, I think that Hiya would do a fantastic job with Gamera, and I really hope that they get the chance to do that someday. Wasn't the Ling Jihun leatherback supposed to release by now? I think it was. I'm actually surprised it's taking so long. So I'm curious to see what happens with that. Monster Geek Corey, we talking Hiya Q4 2030 will be lit. Scar King. Hiya Titanosaurus figure I want as well. Titano is my favorite Showa kaiju of all time. This is a man of culture. I respect it. Rick the Squirrel is right. I'm going to still be sticking with Hiya even though their timing sucks. Their timing is pretty they could work on that for sure. My boy Behemoth is finally getting a figure and I'm pissed off. He's going to be a long time to release. I need to go. It's over a year, guys. It's over a year. Absurd. Oh man. Yeah. I'm excited for the 2.0 Ghidorah and the Heat Ray Evolved. Yeah, those. So 2.0 Ghidorah should be soon, anytime starting next month. And then Heat Ray Evolved, I think, is Q1 2025, 2026. I think, maybe. We'll see. I really need that 3.0 Ghidorah. The official name is 2.0. So I'm not sure if Lataro is just making a joke or if that's the one he's actually referring to. You know, I never thought you cuss, but to be honest, I don't really care. You know, we Canadians really like to cuss. And my daughter's asleep now, so this is like the time where I try to get all the cussing out of my system. Exquisite Mega 98 with scale Matthew Broderick. That's so funny. KaijuCanuck, what are your top 3 Godzilla films? Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, 2001, like Giant Monsters All Out Attack, Shin Godzilla, and then I would say it's a tie between -1 and Terror of Mechagodzilla. Hiya Toys Exquisite Mega Void Ghidorah. It's just 3 individual heads, 12 feet long, $800, QT20. Don't worry about it. I think Jax is the new brand manager for Highest Toho stuff. Hello, it's Heisenberg. Hello, all. I'm looking forward to New York Comic Con. It looks like Hiya, Bandai, and Easy Hobby will have booths. Anyone else going? Heisenberg. Oh, man, that's a good question. Is anybody in the chat going to be going to New York Comic Con? I'm not, because I went to San Diego, and that's all my American convention spending money for the year. But New York Comic Con looks like a fun time, too. I feel I can't get excited for a new Hiya release knowing it ain't releasing till the day the movie Independence Day becomes reality. Yeah, dude, it's hard to maintain levels of excitement when a figure is going to be coming out like a full year later after the solicitation. Like when Behemoth came out, or when Behemoth was solicited and it was like Q4 2026. It's like, oh god, man, like 14 months? Really? What figures would you like Hiya and Monster Arts to tackle? Titanosaurus Ebera. What's your opinion on the new Mechagodzilla design by Takashi Yamazaki? I think it's cool. It's interesting. It's not like my favorite. I would like to see more of it. But yeah, I think it's all right. I was literally a day away from buying my Hiya Evolved, and then they revealed the translucent one. Yeah, man, like my video talking about that, so many people were commenting saying, yeah, I'm just going to cancel my pre-order for the normal one. And I don't blame them. Why would you blame them? Does Hiya ever use die-cast material? It would have been really neat if Kong's Beast Glove was made out of die-cast. They might use it in some of their Exquisite Super stuff, because this Exquisite Super is like a premium line. I don't know if because I have the Beast Glove Kong. Where is he? Like, I've got him right here. I don't know if the die cast in the glove would be a great idea because there's a lot of thin pieces. But maybe for something like Exquisite, or I guess it's not even Exquisite anymore. Maybe for something like the Stylus line. Super 7's new Toho Ultimate's Translucent Burning Godzilla looks fantastic, which I feel I have been robbed for getting the first release. I can understand that. I'm with you on that. I think that the translucent one looks really good. I do have a review sample of that coming, so I'll be taking a look at it. I actually sold my Wave 2 one because once I got the 1200 degree Celsius Godzilla in, and it was made of translucent plastic, and then it was just like a much better figure, I actually sold my Wave 2 one. So I'm actually pretty stoked to be getting another like a translucent version of that figure. To be honest, I'm still really upset with how they handled the Burning Godzilla battle version. They never even got back to me on email for a refund. It's so frustrating. I'm really sorry to hear that, Rick. I think they definitely should have gotten back to you through email, and so it's disappointing that they haven't. Have you watched any Akira Kurosawa movies? No, I have not. I'm still worried how the chaos at Diamond Distributor will impact Hiya. I fear Diamond might go out of business. Heisenberg, didn't Diamond get bought out by NECA's parent company? Yeah, and NECA themselves is distributing the collectibles now, and then somebody else is handling the comics, I believe. One thing I hate is that Hiya started their Heisei stuff, which will probably delay Singular Point. So Hiya has been jumping around with Toho proper a little bit, right? Like they started with Heisei, but then they got into GMK, Godzilla 2000, or I guess Godzilla 99, and then Godzilla 2002. So they're jumping around a little bit. Who knows when they're going to get to Singular Point, though. Hiya has consistently listed a minimum of 3 figures per quarter, which makes sense since there's 3 months per quarter. That means Hiya has 5 announcement slots left before it spills over to 2027. Maybe. We'll see. Like, they haven't solicited anything for Q3 2026 yet. Or Q2 2026 yet, I think. So, well, no, I think it was Q3. I think it was Q3. Yeah, it was Q3. But then they pushed Behemoth back to Q3 2026. So we'll see. I don't know, man. Maybe they are slowing down a little bit. Hiya can make figures of the Showa Kaijus from Gamera, which Monster Arts doesn't have. A Showa Griron figure would be peak cinema. Same thing for Showa Gamera. I agree. BBTS lists the Translucent Evolved as April 2026. Yes, that's the North American release, but when I'm saying like Q1, I mean the China release. Hiya, here's our upcoming release for 2027. McFarlane Toys. Here is this month's new wave of DC Multiverse figures. Yeah, that's... Yep. No, I agree. you got me there. What are your top favorite MonsterVerse films? Honestly, like, in no particular order, I like GVK, GXK, and probably Skull Island. So I get the 3 Kong movies. The 3 Kong movies are my top. When do you think Hiya Godzilla 2000 will come out? I need it. Michael, if he has not already, will definitely be able to answer this question. I think it's on the 28th in Japan, something like that. Yeah. I legit canceled my pre-order on the original Evolved and ordered the new one. Then I saw your video and you called it. Yeah, man. Saint Pepsi, your take on Hiya Exquisite Mega. So we talked about this a little bit earlier. If they get into Godzilla, I think it'll be 12-inch Godzilla figures. That's my guess. I'm definitely getting the Burning Godzilla from Hiya. My dad is getting me the Monster Arts one. I'm probably going to double dip on the Hiya like I did with the 99. Understandable, for sure. What are some potential solutions to Hiya's release schedule problems? Okay, so I have a crackpot theory, tinfoil hat theory. By the way, I'm fiddling with this guy off screen. So if you're hearing the creaking and cracking, that's why, because it's kind of fun to fiddle with. My crackpot theory is that Hiya gets their figures made in government subsidized factories, and that their release schedule is so borked because they don't really have control over when their time slots are in those factories, and perhaps they are soliciting things so far out because that's when they're able to schedule time in those factories. So those are my thoughts. Emperor Antonio with the super chat. I miss you, boo. XOXO. Emperor Antonio, thank you so much. It is so nice to see you. Now, guys, I need you to know something, okay? I got a chance to meet Emperor Antonio at San Diego Comic-Con. All right? He was the best. Here we go. Here we go. This is Emperor Antonio right here. Okay. Amazing dude. Followed me out after the Godzilla panel. Came by. Cracked a joke. He's like, hey, man, any of you guys from Canada? Chatted for a little bit about the state of the hobby and how much we really are just trying to have fun. And how there's so many good things out there. So much good stuff. Good product. And then he happened to be there when I was filming my interview with Brian Flynn. He was there in the background listening to the whole thing, so he got to, he got to see it first. Emperor Antonio is a wonderful dude, and if anything happened to him, I would kill everybody and then myself. Emperor Antonio, thank you very much for the $20. That was a joke, by the way. Thank you so much for the $20. Good to see you, man. I hope that you're having a great evening, and I hope work's going well, because I know we were talking about that recently. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? Okay, so yeah, back to this. I do think that Hiya, it works with government subsidized factories, and the reason their production is so wonky is because they don't really have a whole lot of control over when they actually get into those factories. And I don't know if there's a direct solution to that, because you're just kind of the factory's bitch at that point. Communication is the big thing. Like, guys, at the beginning of the year, Hiya said, here's when we expect Shimo to come out. Here's when we expect Godzilla Evolved to come out. Here's when we expect 91 Hokkaido to come out. Ghidorah 91 to come out. 91 Hokkaido Heat Ray to come out. Okay. They ended up being wrong about most of those, but at least they told us something. They haven't done something like that in 7 months. 7 months. So if they could do something like that, that would be pretty cool. That's where I think they can have a solution. Not necessarily actually getting things out the door, but like making people feel like progress is being made. Those are my thoughts. How on earth do I buy a Godzilla figure on INS Hobby? You just go to INS Hobby and you buy it. Although I think they might have suspended shipping to the US, Michael was telling me. I know Calcus had something going on with their website too, so I don't know if anybody's able to confirm that. When is Thirsty for Blood Grayscale Godzilla shipping? I got the one signed by Art Adams. Yeah, so that is starting to ship now. I believe Art spent the first few days of this week actually signing them, so you should be getting shipping notices soon. The new Super 7 Burning Godzilla 1200 figure looks so small, even though it's not. I have no idea how I can explain it. It looks so much smaller than it actually is. I might have problems in kaiju scale. If you're talking about the final battle Godzilla, I think in the solicitation, especially in the 3D revolving shot, he looks shrunken because they have to zoom out so much because there's so many things coming in the box. That might be where it's coming from. Brandon, greetings, Kyle. I didn't know you were on. Hello, Brandon. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you will be enjoying Reaction Wave 9, which is arriving to you shortly. Mogera and Godzilla 2000 and Blazing Godzilla, even though Blazing Godzilla, I know, is not you're not super stoked on that one. But yeah, and Destroyer, presumably coming soon. Maybe Godzilla Day. We'll just have to see. I really hope Hiya will touch the Showa era soon. We need Showa figures from Hiya. The world needs it. We can get a lot of figures that Monster Arts haven't made yet, like King Caesar, Titano, Megalon, and more. Yeah, that would be cool. It does seem like Showa is on the table, but they just haven't done it yet. So yeah, we'll just have to see. Luminous Diamond did get bought, but the new owner does not seem to be doing a good job. There are ongoing legal battles. Oh God, I didn't hear about that, but that's annoying. That's annoying. Oh, hey, someone mentioned Singular Point. Time for me to remind y'all that Singular Point is peak, and I'm not accepting any dissenting opinions at this time. Thanks. Oh, man. You know, it wasn't my favorite cup of tea, although some of the designs are pretty cool. Yeah, maybe I should go back and give it another try sometime. I don't know if maybe I had expectations going in and that was my issue. But maybe the second time around, I can learn to appreciate it for what it is rather than what I hoped it to be. Howdy, Shrimp. Thanks for watching. I'm very happy we all get to watch KaijuCanuck. That's very sweet, Heisenberg. Thank you. If there's one thing every toy company beats Hiya at, it's those gosh damn release dates. I agree with that. Godzilla 2000 is the 27th in Japan. Okay, so that's like in just over a week, which is pretty cool. Monster Kid Corey, top 3 Monsterverse, King of the Monsters, GXK, and then Skull Island. Corey, I thought that Godzilla 2014 was your favorite movie and definitely not the worst movie you've ever watched, according to your words. Monster Kid Corey, based and real. That's funny. There's a lot of 2.0 figures they need to make at some point. 2014, KSI Kong, Shimo, Mothra, and honestly, Rodan having orange paint around the eyes is so annoying because it's not accurate to King of the Monsters. I feel like a lot of those are just paint. Well, okay, so KSI Kong needs a new sculpt. Shimo needs an upscaled sculpt. Mothra and Rodan, I feel like you could get away with paint. 2014, you could probably get away with paint, although some of the mobility in 2014, I think, needs to be improved. I think you're right. Robo Lizard, sup, dude? Welcome in. It's good to see you, man. I hope your custom work is going well. Look at you. Thank you for being a channel member, you and Jax. Good to see you guys. Cascade is also a channel member, but he's also a mod. Best mod in the world. He does look like an Antonio. Antonio is a goated dude. He is a goated dude. Oh, that's Romeo and Juliet kind of affection. It's true. It's true. I got confused when you said KSI Kong. I thought you were talking about the actual KSI. Yeah, from what was it called? It wasn't Feastables. Prime? No, not Prime. Prime's the drink. What's their Lunchly? Lunchly, is that what it was? Hiya ignores me more than my wife. I don't know what's worse going on there. Oh man, really, INS was my go-to. Yeah, because of the whole like duties thing. Yeah, it's kind of problematic. You know, I never thought much about Hiya's release dates, but I realized technically I could get a girlfriend and have my firstborn before Monster X arrives. You're right. You're right. I could have a second child before Monster X arrives. I get why Super 7 wants to do each era at the time, but with how long it's taking each figure to be made, I really hope they drop that idea. I don't want to wait decades to get into the surface of Showa. Goji Wars, I do not think you'll have to wait decades, but I'm going to leave it at that. If you could choose, which Godzilla would you want a figure of first? Kaisei or Galaxy Odyssey, and who would you want to make it? If I'm being honest, I don't like the options. I would pick something else. And let Super 7 make it. Will we be getting another interview with Brian Flynn, possibly to discuss the details of Final Battle? Godzilla, yeah, I was actually talking with someone earlier today that I think it's about the time I should probably email Brian and see if he's around, especially while Final Battle is up for pre-order. So, yes, that's timely. Shipping notice already from Super 7 Wave 9 reaction looks fun. Nice. Good to see getting that stuff quick. We need a Hiya 1933 King Kong and T-Rex for Q3 2033, then delayed to Q4 2034. I'm still surprised that like NECA never really pursued a T-Rex to go with their Kong. It just seems like a missed opportunity, don't you think? I've been saying Hiya Toys should get the Gamera license. I want to figure out my favorite Gamera monster. I agree with that. If anyone's into comics and hasn't already, you should absolutely check out the new Godzilla Kaisei era series. Godzilla Kaisei, Escape the Dead Zone, and Starship Godzilla will drop soon. And it is all a connected universe. These 3 comics happen in the same canon and continuity. Personally, I'm not a big comics guy. There's not much there that I'm particularly drawn to. Although when I was at the San Diego Comic-Con panel, the dude sort of spearheading it all didn't seem very passionate about it. So, if anybody's into that kind of stuff, definitely check it out. It seems like the team working behind it is full of some really cool people. I'm personally more excited for the Hiya 2001 rather than the 2000. I agree. I love GMK. GMK is fantastic. Although I am excited for 2000 as well. When is Heat Ray 2014 supposed to come out? I think it's supposed to come out before the end of the year. In China, at least. But I'm not sure. BioGoji54, welcome in. Good to see you. I still don't have a Godzilla in my collection. I was thinking about waiting for Evolve 2.0. What Hiya Godzilla do you think is the best? Oh, I feel like you have to get the Hokkaido Godzilla. That's a really good figure. The Heat Ray Evolved is probably going to be a solid release too, but I think 91 Hokkaido is like the way to go. I'm not a painter, so I wouldn't be able to do that. Plus, I feel like Hiya already set the standard for paint with their Shimo and Heisei Ghidorah. This doesn't feel acceptable. I'm sorry to hear that, Rick. Big Bad Wolf, the new comic series is cool. Kaisei Godzilla would be a cool figure. Yeah, he's all right. He's an okay design. Speaking of Monster X, I pre-ordered him this week. Very cool, James. Antonio, Toy Farce and I were joking around, and we were comparing release date time to animal gestational periods. Jeez, that's so funny. Oh, God. Just start measuring Hiya release dates in human pregnancies. It's like, oh, when does Monster X release? Oh, in about 1 1/3 pregnancies. That's how long. If you were a figure, what would you be? I'd probably be... I want to say that I'd be an Ultimates figure. And that my accessory would be my hat. And a bubble tea. Because I love bubble tea. Sorry. Hey, what's up, KK? So my initials are... Yeah, KC. There we go. What's up? Oh, man. Good to be back. Good to be streaming again. It's been a long time. Childish Landino is in here. Very cool. NECA's Kong is public domain, but just 1933 enough to be recognized. A 1933 T-Rex would be too obvious. Also, NECA hates secondary characters almost as much as they hate Canada. Yeah, that's true. That is true on all fronts. I'm still sad that they never got around to releasing Brawler Yukon from Pacific Rim. They teased it. They're, oh, yeah, we're making this, and then they never got around to it. That's so annoying. So I was just checking if my water was down here. Always wondered what a fully grown GMK Ghidorah would look like. It's a good question. Yeah, I guess he would have, say, 8 heads? Or 9 heads. Rouge Block, I like cheese. Good for you, pal. Go get yourself some good cheese. I would want a Hiya -1 more than any Hiya figure, to be honest. I would not hedge bets on seeing a Hiya -1 anytime soon. I really want the Godzilla Heisei 91 atomic version from Hiya Toys. It's so peak cinema. I do think that it's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. It's kind of green. So we'll see. I'm supposed to get it late next week. So I'll be taking a look on the channel when I do get it. Did you have an iPod Touch in the past? And what type of phone do you have? Are you going to ask me for my mother's maiden name next or something goofy? Yes, I did have an iPod Touch around the time... I think like 2 or 3 years after it first came out. I used to have an Apple iPhone. But then I switched a long time ago to Android, and I've really enjoyed Android. If you get to an elephant gestation time, you have angered your customers. That's like 22 months. Antonio, do you happen to know like the gestation period of like a whale? How long is it for a whale? Still mad about them teasing a Jaws figure and then playing stupid like they never did. I want my bruise. That was... Yes, that was definitely whack. They were just gaslighting the hell out of the customers. I wonder when Hiya will do a Super Mechagodzilla. Heisei Mechagodzilla felt incomplete without it. It's coming. Like, we all know it's coming, right? Like, it's the worst kept secret of all time. We all know it's coming. Okay, like 3 days before the Heat Ray Godzilla 2002 was announced, like I was talking to somebody on Discord. They were like, "What Hiya figures are still, are we still waiting for?" And I listed them off, and I was like, "Oh yeah, and don't forget the Heat Ray 2002 that they're definitely working on." And then 3 days later, they showed it off. So, yeah. Did you see the Sleeping Godzilla Funko with Min? Yeah, I did see it. It's pretty cute. I love the Space Godzilla one. Antonio actually sent me the post. Funny enough. Wasn't the NECA Burning Godzilla translucent? Yes. Every NECA Burning Godzilla was translucent. There was the standard 95, and then there was a reactor glow version, and then there was the legendary version. All of them were translucent. Let's see. Rick the Squirrel, the game version, is pretty good. Social security number. Random for sure, but what if Ghidorah, any version, and Yamata no Orochi did the fusion dance and fused together? Well, that's like 11 heads. At what point does one have too much head? The answer is more than you expect. I think you guys have touched on this before in another stream, but what's the reason why we think Hiya won't touch -1 for a good while? Separate license. Yeah, so Hiya, so -1 is a separate license, and it seems to be more or less locked down by other companies right now. It was San Diego 2024 when Hiya said they wanted to touch -1, and they still haven't done it, which makes me think that they just don't have the license, and I don't think that they're gonna get the license for a while. What Godzilla toy or item do you own that shows your age? I think it's in a box over there, just down the hall. But it's the 10-inch tall Lights and Sounds Trendmaster Godzilla. The one where he looks like he's on steroids. Also sad we can't get a Brody figure because the family backed out last minute back in 2020. I want my Jaws trio. Yeah. Joe Smo, heyo, welcome in. The longest gestation for any whale appears to be 18 months. Okay, so the elephant is longer. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Fun facts with Emperor Antonio. Funko Sleeping Kaiju. Yeah, it's an interesting line. I have the 1986 Imperial Godzilla that I got as a kid in the 80s. I have like one of the millions of bootlegs of that kicking around in my parents' house somewhere. Yeah. What are the chances we'll get a metallic Ultimate Mechagodzilla 93? Are you talking about vac metal? 0. Or unless you're talking about Hiya doing that. But I think you're talking about Super 7. Yeah, I don't think back metal's happening. You'd have to be a real idiot to buy the Hiya Burning Godzilla if he doesn't have a Heat Ray. Why not? You know the Heat Ray one's going to come like 6 months after the first one. I still can't believe I searched up whale gestation period. Oh gosh, that's funny. The Funko is making a Sleeping Kaiju line. Basically, it's so goofy, but funny at the same time. The Sleeping Ghidorah is so cute. I need it. My first Hiya was the 2021 Heat Ray, and it's my favorite figure currently, and I can't wait for the 98 coming out 2099. I just love that this is the meme. This is the joke. It's so funny. I love it. My first Hiya was the first Hiya Legendary Godzilla, and it's still my favorite Legendary Godzilla. I think that figure is fantastic. I recently figured out though that they assembled the knee upside down, because I was looking at it and I was like, I should be able to fix this. And then the longer I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, the scaling pattern doesn't make sense. And I realized it was upside down, so I had to like take apart the leg and put it back together. And now it all moves fine, which is funny. Is a Super Godzilla in the realm of possibility for Super 7? I feel like they're our best bet at an accurate one, and you know that packaging would be fire. Yeah, man. I'm really curious what kind of packaging they would do for a Super Godzilla. Hopefully, it's not too long until we find out. So I think that it's on the table, but Brian said it was like lower on the list of things that they really want to get to. If Hiya doesn't make a MonsterVerse Mechagodzilla, I will personally beat Hiya's ass. I doubt that very much, but I think that they'll get to it at some point. An Amhuluk figure would be awesome to see. I agree. Besides collecting, is there a different hobby you like? Okay, so this is not really a hobby thing, but the reason, guys, that I haven't streamed in so long, and why I've been a little bit quiet on YouTube lately, is because I started teaching a new course lately, or recently, brand new course being run for the first time, and it's going really, really well. I'm really enjoying it. The students are really enjoying it, and it's just taking a lot of my time. It is just taking a lot of my time. It's taking like an extra 15 hours per week, roughly, to run. But it's going amazingly. I'm super happy with it. And again, like the students seem really happy with it. And that's why it's taking me away from the channel quite a bit. Now I'm doing that through to the mid to end of December. I mean, if all goes well, I'll have another contract in January for another 15 hours per week, which again will take me away from YouTube a little bit. But you know, I'm making big strides in my personal life and in my career, and it's going really, really well, and it's something that I'm really excited about, and so I'm focusing a lot of energy there. But obviously, like, I still have fun on YouTube. I just feel less compelled to try and keep up with the YouTube machine. I don't know. I've talked about this a little bit before, but on the back end of YouTube, it's constantly comparing your current performance to your previous performance. And so ever since my course started, which was a few weeks ago, YouTube is basically lighting up my back end saying, like, what the hell, you're not putting out videos, people aren't watching nearly as much as they did in August or July, right? Because July was San Diego Comic-Con, and so I got a ton of traffic from that. And so YouTube is like all these red arrows pointed down. It's all this stuff. And I've just learned that I have to, like, not care about that. So yeah, all that is to say, yeah, I've been a little bit quieter on YouTube because, like, so I have like my full 9-to-5 job, and then I do teaching for 15 hours a week. And that teaching for 15 hours a week is taking up a lot of my time and my attention and my emotion, but it's also going really, really well. Like, I had a lecture 2 nights ago, and like a kid came up afterward just to tell me that how much he was enjoying the course, and like that means the world to me. so yeah, so that's why I'm been a little bit quieter on YouTube lately, and what's been taking away my time. Canuck is a teacher. That's awesome. Cascade, you started a perspective course. Yeah, lots of love in the chat. I appreciate it, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. Realist job keeps me from being too worried about my algorithm. This is definitely just for the funsies. Do your students know that you're internet famous? They better recognize. No, very few people know that in my professional life, know that I do YouTube. There's one person that I told, who was my first boss, who has continued to be, like, you know, one of my biggest advocates in the workplace. He's been amazing. And I told him one day, I actually showed him the first Jeopardy video that I did on the channel, because he knew I did YouTube, but I never told him, like, my channel name. He never knew any of my content. And so at one point I was just like, hey man, like, here's what I do. And I sent him the Jeopardy video. And I think like 3 days later we were talking, and he goes, man, I knew that you knew Godzilla, but I didn't realize, like, that's how deep into it you were. And I was like, yeah, man, like, I'm kind of a dork. I'm kind of a loser. But we had a good laugh about it, and he's like super supportive. He's always asking me how things are going. So that's pretty cool. So that's all of that is to say, that's why I have been quiet. And where was it? Back to KP. That's what else I do in my time. That's what else I do with my time. Whoever does articulated run will have my soul. I agree with it. Hi, I got so used to watching your videos with the YouTube translator that it's weird to hear your real voice. Out of curiosity, what language did you translate me to? I'd be super curious to hear that. Alpine salamanders have the longest gestation period, can be up to 38 months. Mezco has the distinction of having out the 89 Batman. Dude, they haven't even put out the Mezco 1954. Let's see what they're going on there. Do you know any details about the Super 7 pinball tournament reactions? I know I'll never own them, but do you think we'll see pictures? Only 3 sets will exist supposedly. Yeah, I mean, everything you've listed just now is pretty much what I know, or at least like the interesting bits. I know that Toho didn't approve them until like a month ago. So yeah, I'm gonna hopefully ask Brian if we can get photos of them, because if we can't own them, I would at least like to have photos of them. You made a post recently about a larger line from Hiya. You reckon we can expect some same articulation paint compared to the Exquisite Basic line? Or so to Michael's point, we don't even know if it will apply to Godzilla, because it's just a blank category on their website right now. And we don't know what the line entails. Like Exquisite Super is like their premium line. Exquisite Mega, I think, might just be 12-inch versions of their Exquisite Basic line. That's what I would assume. I would hope that the articulation stays the same. And because they're bigger, I would hope that the paint applications are actually better. Because when things are blown up, I think it's easier to get into the nooks and crannies of detail. Rick, sorry to change the subject a little, but do you think it's possible to get Methuselah back if he was redesigned like I've suggested? I know we don't know the details, but I'd like to hope. I don't know how much momentum is necessary to get Legendary's attention on something like that. Like the fact that Legendary just so willingly gave Methuselah away indicates to me that they're not super invested in keeping him around. That's the impression that I get, unfortunately. The infamous mouth on the Hiya Godzilla has come loose on mine despite just being closed. I'm so glad they phased that out so long ago. The infamous mouth on the Hiya Godzilla. The pin joint? I'm not sure what you mean, Rouge Block. I'd love to see Super 7 do a Toho Ultimates 2002 GMK Godzilla and a 2000 Godzilla figure. That would all be really cool. If Super 7 doesn't make a reaction figure of Abira, this whole class is going to feel my wrath. That's funny. That's really funny. Let's see. I'm planning on getting the Hiya Toys Godzilla Evolved in Kong. Are there any issues with both figures that I should look out for? Kong has a little bit of trouble standing. Despite what some people might say. Once you get a feel for it, you should be able to get him standing okay. But more dynamic poses are going to be quite difficult. That's my big thing with Hiya Kong. Otherwise, I think that this monkey is great. I think he's awesome. Godzilla Evolved, the biggest issue are the spines. If you watch reviews, if you're okay with how the spines look, then I think that you're in good shape. But I think the spines are the biggest detractor. And I think that the translucent version is going to solve that problem. And that will be like the Godzilla Evolved figure to own, personally. I wanted to ask a question about GMK Godzilla. When do you think he will come? Sorry, someone probably asked this before, but I don't keep up with release dates. What month do you think he'll come? I don't know at this point, right? Like I asked Hiya at San Diego Comic-Con like what their production schedule would look like. And they said that they don't have one, straight up. So hopefully him in 2000 come out before the end of the year, but it's not a guarantee. I'd hate to be in such a class with Casey because fucking math. My class does not have any math in it. So you would be okay, Corey. I think that we would have fun together. Kong has a slight problem standing, but it's not anything. I agree. It's not terrible. It's not a deal breaker, but he does have difficulty standing. If anything, Mezco has worse release dates for Godzilla figures than Hiya. That's true. Hi, Kyle. Do you plan on getting or reviewing Charging -1 Ultimate? I don't know if you have him or not, but I highly recommend the figure. Yeah, I got him. He's right here. I'm trying to think of when I grabbed him. It was probably around the holidays. Yeah, I probably won't review the Charging one just because by the time I got him, like the momentum and the interest in that figure kind of came and went. And as we were just discussing, like I don't have a ton of time for YouTube, and so I'd rather not invest in something that's been out for like 9 months at this point. I think next week I have 3 shipments coming in. I have the Goji Burst line from Bandai, which I'm actually quite excited for, like stupidly enough. I have 91 Hokkaido Heat Ray, and then I have the new Super 7 reissue of Burning Godzilla. So I'll be hoping to take a look at those things next week. You studied nuclear engineering in hopes to create actual Godzilla. That's how into Godzilla you are. You got me. I want Hiya to make a Titano or 72 Goji, but those probably won't happen until 2036. I think that's early. Can you do me a favor and make a video zooming into Godzilla 91 Heat Ray's eyes? I'll do it for you when I get it, for sure. Just for you. Nobody else. Just for you, Godzilla Short 2025. I think Mezco's kind of fucked. As InArt, a Chinese company, has literally started making 112 stuff. They made that Batman from Nolan and showed they can give the same or higher quality at half the price. Yeah, man, the Chinese companies are coming in and kicking a lot of American companies' asses. What are American consumers supposed to do about that, right? Like, maybe if you are like nationalistic, you're like, I don't want to support. I would, support the companies that are designing the stuff in the States. But I think the vast majority of consumers are like, no, I want the best toy for my dollar. And they'll move to companies like InArt or Hiya or Lingjahun or whomever. I think you're right. I think there's blood in the water as far as Mezco is concerned. Sadly, bigger figures, although better sculpt detail, it causes paint cost to grow too. I think that's why larger figures seem more painted plainly to me. That's a very good point, Robo Lizard. I could definitely see where that would be coming from. A 12-inch Hiya Godzilla would be awesome. You could argue the NECA one is one of the best Godzilla figures. I agree. The 12-inch NECA Godzilla is fantastic. And they sold that thing forever, right? Came out in 2014. I think they stopped selling it maybe 2018, maybe 2019. If you looked at like the NECA release calendar, like every 6 months or so, it kept coming up like another production run. So yeah, that was a really successful one. You meant to say the pin came loose in your Hiya Godzilla mouth. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I haven't had that issue, but I could see how that would be problematic. Mezco is great because they released a Godzilla line that died. I have all of that 5.XL, and I'm good with that. That's right, man. You have the complete collection, and it didn't take very long. I'm very worried about Hiya Toys distributor PX reviews or previews Diamond Select Toys that they're taking forever getting them here in the USA, which I definitely understand. Shimo and Ghidorah, I think, were held up by the whole tariff situation and then the Diamond, transfer of ownership. So hopefully things, now that stuff is starting to come through, hopefully the rest of it comes through in a timely fashion. But yeah, it was kind of spotty there for a bit. Personally, if we were able to get them, I guess, Legendary to notice, or at least a producer, that would be cool. Maybe talk to one of them whenever there's a chance to. I gotta go now. Nice talking again. Good to see you, Rick. Have a great night. Hashtag save Methuselah. I'm only saying that Mezco could start having problems with the 112 stuff specifically. No, I agree with that. I think you're right. I absolutely love the more obscure MMS figures such as Baggin. I'm really hoping for a Crystalak or Obsidious. Yeah, Baggin, and they've done 2 Baggins. Was definitely a pleasant surprise. I think we should take Exquisite Mega line with a grain of salt. All the other figure series that have that same Heisei Godzilla banner. It's true. Every other line has that Godzilla image, so there's nothing indicating specifically that they're working on Exquisite Mega for Godzilla. But I mean, if Mega means bigger, like what bigger figures should there be other than Godzilla? Hiya 2000 end of the year release would be a crazy Christmas surprise. That would be pretty cool. Charging -1 has been out for a pregnancy. There you go. There it is. We brought it back. Oh gosh. Goji Burst looks fun as hell. I'm so excited for Goji Burst. I agree, man. Goji Burst would be so cool. I just got the Hiya 1991 Godzilla and King Ghidorah in. Yeah, SH Monster Arts is done. The king is dead. Long live the king. Well, is the king dead or long live the king, man? You gotta pick a lane. But to just the comment, I don't think Monster Arts is done, but I definitely think that Monster Arts needs to maybe relook at what they're doing in the wake of Hiya. I know that they're different categories, all that blah 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 blah. But I do think that like Hiya is becoming a market force that you can't really ignore anymore. Even though it takes forever for anything to come out, it's still there. So I don't think Monster Arts is done. But I do think that they're gonna need to take a look at how they run things. Would you be willing to teach a class on Godzilla film history? UCSC has a class dedicated to Harry Potter. So here's the thing. I asked my superior if he would hear me out on a pitch for a course all about Godzilla. And he said he would hear me out if I bought him a beer. So it could happen. It could happen. All right. It could happen. I mean, getting paid to teach Godzilla, like that's some end game type shit right there. I got a question. Since seeing you're a fairly kind of newish YouTuber for the Godzilla community, how is working with others like figure companies or other Godzilla content creators? Yeah, man. I mean, there's lots of great people in the community. Lots of great content creators. The vast majority of people I've interacted with have been pleasant. And even some folks like who I've tried to work with and maybe just haven't had time for, like they were still very nice about it. So that's like for the most part working with other content creators, because like we're all trying to celebrate this stuff in our own ways, and some of us in similar ways. So yeah, lots of good people like Rob, Mike, Harold. We all have a group chat. We stay in touch pretty much every day. About Godzilla stuff, but about other stuff as well. So yeah, it feels like a pretty strong community. Working with companies like Super 7 was obviously the first big one. Hiya got to meet at San Diego Comic-Con. It looks like I might have a relationship moving forward with 3-0. I've talked to two of those guys, one of which I met at San Diego, and they were really cool. So yeah, I might start covering the Godzilla stuff from 3-0 on the channel. So yeah, I mean the companies have all been really cool. I how much of this do I want to say? So Brian from Super 7 has basically said that like if there's something that I would like help with, like a Target exclusive, because we don't have them in Canada, he's like, just email us and we'll see if we have inventory available, right? So he's made it clear that if they can help me, they will help me. But I still like shit my pants every time I email them and ask for something. Like every time I send the email, it's like, hey, I was just wondering if you have this in stock or if review samples are available for this. No big deal. If not, I'm just trying to make my own arrangements. And like, there's a part of me that it just feels like they're going to come back and be like, you greedy asshole asking for free shit. Right? Like, even though they've explicitly told me that they're happy to help me if they can. No, everybody I've talked to has been really, really pleasant. There are some companies I've heard whispers of, mostly from other content creators. There are some companies that are just a nightmare to work with, and they will cut you off. Like if you even like breathe wrong around their products, which I don't think is very conducive to a working relationship. So yeah, honestly, like I consider myself extremely lucky to have the success that I've had with the channel in the short amount of time that I've been here, and I've been surrounded by just a lot of great people that I'm happy to hang out with and to work with. I'm about to order 91 Heat Ray Godzilla. I'm so hyped to get it. Good for you, man. 12-inch Godzilla. Haha. Mezco somehow made a human adult dwarf-sized Godzilla, yet they couldn't make a tiny-ass 54. The tiny 54 with a rubber suit and a metal frame and a boatload of accessories they haven't managed to figure out. What's your opinion on both Hiya's delayed figure releases for the US and Hiya's 2026 figure release schedule, since figures are being pushed back and delayed as some are being pushed forward? Beast Glove Kong and OG. Okay, I'm not sure where the question veers off toward the end. Hiya's delayed figure releases for the US. I think that a lot of that, if you're talking about Shimo and Ghidorah, a lot of that was out of their hands. There's a bunch of stuff with the tariffs, and then there was the diamond acquisition. I think that fucked them like pretty badly. But Shimo is now in stock at most US retailers, or at least a lot of the big ones, 5 months after it released in China. But if you're talking about the 2026 figure release schedule, I think that they're announcing things way too early. Way too early. I said it in my video about Behemoth, but it's like Godzilla Heat Ray 2002 comes out, and every photo looks the same, and there's nothing with the mouth open or the heat ray in use. I don't know who approved putting up a solicitation for a heat ray figure where you don't show the heat ray being used, but that seemed like a mistake. And then Monster X was solicited, and for the most part, his hands move around a little bit, but he's in the same pose. His tail moves around a little bit too, but he's in the same pose. And then Behemoth comes out, and Behemoth is it's several photos in a very similar pose. So it just seems like they're rushing to get these solicitations out for whatever reason. And I think that long term, it's not sustainable. So that's what I think. The only issue I have with Chinese groups taking over is once they have market share, they can start raising prices. They can afford being being cheap with government assistance, but might raise prices later on. Yeah, it's true. Right, like you go in, you hollow out the market by beating everybody, and then once everybody else quits, you could just be like, all right, yeah, time to raise the prices. Yeah, you're right. It's a very real problem. Seismic, glad to see you doing a stream, bro. Your videos are always a big inspiration for how I do the commentary. Oh, thank you, Seismic. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you very much for sharing that with me. And I, best of luck with your content in your channel as well. I noticed my local GameStop is selling Hiya toys now. Are they one of the US distributors? So they're one of the US retailers. The distributor is going to be NECA moving forward. Hiya Godzilla 2002 still looks sick with the heat ray. I think you mean without the heat ray. Like, it looks okay. Like, whenever they send it to me, like, I'll be happy to take a look at it. I'm going to be going to Japan soon. You think there will be Hiya Toys Godzilla products there? Not going to buy Monster Arts. No, Hiya is not allowed to be sold in Japan. So if you do find Hiya products in Japan, they're going to be marked up quite a lot. So just as a heads up, Hiya Toys, as part of their licensing, is not allowed to be sold in Japan, at least directly. I want so many more articulated Showa Godzilla figures, honestly, especially more Soshingeki Goji. I have the Monster Arts one, and I love it. Yeah, man. I feel like Super 7 was built to make Showa highly articulated Godzilla figures, and they just haven't got there. And it's annoying. It's annoying, to be honest. Because they're like my greatest hope of getting a Titanosaurus, or at least they were. And they just, haven't been moving with the frequency that I would hope for. I wonder if Super 7 can one day do an update on their Toho Ultimates Heisei Godzilla Tales to be more articulated 2.0 version in the future. So I suspect that we will not see... oh my gosh. I missed this. I'm so sorry, RoboLizard. Here's to help with the buyer, Professor of Beer Fun. Thank you, Thomas. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't know why it didn't show up on my end. But thank you, man. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, yes. So yeah, Super 7. I don't think that they'll update the Heisei one. I think they're going to move on to more eras soon. You're a teacher. I am a teacher. Yeah. MM would teach a class on kaiju power scaling. Oh man, that would put him in the grave. Buy my boss a beer. I'm gonna buy him. I'm taking him to the pub. I'll buy him all the beer, man. I'll get it sorted. I mean, talking about bad communication, Mezco is fucking infamous for that. It's true. Yeah, no, that's true. Mezco's communication is dog water. My wife has been looking it up. The frilled shark has a 42-month gestation period. Oh man. Collaborate with me. I'm sorry, Corey. I want to. Yes, I want to. We just have to figure out what the time is right. I I had that idea originally to do the stream with and reacting to your Godzilla 2014 figure. I don't think he's on board with that too much. But if there's something you can think about, you have my email, and I'm happy to email you back. Please, please, I'm happy to do it. Have you heard about Eden Buster's new Godzilla 1984 fan-made design that he has revealed? I have seen it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, Eden Buster is a very talented dude. I hope the Hiya King Ghidorah 1991 can fit on my set. I think you mean shelf. That is a very large figure, so I'm hoping for you too. Monster Arts is still good though. Why y'all gotta hate Monster Arts like this? No, I agree. Monster Arts, it's got its time and place. I think for the most part, people like that line. I love Silent Hill 2 remake. I agree with you. Do you know what the last sculpt was by Eden for Hiya? Was it Godzilla 2000? So he said that to me before Mecha King Ghidorah was revealed. So it could be Mecha King Ghidorah. But I really suspect it's Godzilla 2004. But it also feels weird that we haven't seen Godzilla 2004 yet. So it might be Mecha King Ghidorah. Yeah, it could also be Monster X. I'm really not sure. I have my own Godzilla where he starts off as a 50-foot sea creature. Then he becomes a Godzilla that has some fins. And then his final form actually looks like Godzilla, but with webbed hands and feet. That's cool. I dig it. Enough with Monster Arts and Hiya Beef. Just enjoy both. It's not that hard. I agree. I might get Hiya Thermo Godzilla for Christmas, which is cool. That is pretty cool. Being shy about asking is a Canadian thing. It is a Canadian thing. Exactly. Can we just enjoy both companies? Yes. You got three big players. Tamashii Nations, Hiya Toys, and then you got Super 7. Okay. All three of them are doing... Like, they're in the same ballpark, but they're all doing very different things. No. Let me rephrase that. They're all in the same ballpark, but they are doing different things. Okay. They can all win. It's all good. I think I'm late, but I'm here. What Hiya figure you think you're going to be the next release? Greetings from Chile. Welcome, Mr. Godzilla. It's good to see you. I suspect the next Toho figure from Hiya is going to be Godzilla 1995, the burning version. That's my guess. And I'm going to guess that Warbat is the next Monsterverse solicitation. What's the most recent Monster Arts figure you bought? The most recent Monster Arts figure I bought Iris, and then it just didn't want to stay together, so I ended up selling it again. But I am looking to pick up the Monster Arts Godzilla 2000. What would you recommend as far as someone in the community who mainly does stop motion videos? How can I get more involved with the Godzilla YouTuber space? How should I branch out from stop motion? My biggest advice for anybody that's looking to do content creation on YouTube, in terms of like creating a community, right? Because like there are a few channels out there that can just put out, very automated procedural stuff, faceless YouTube channels, and you can get thousands and thousands and thousands of views, but you're not going to form any kind of community. If you're looking to create content and form some sort of community, the biggest suggestion and biggest piece of advice I have for you is to make the content that you would want to watch. That's the thing that I followed when I was getting started, and I think that it served me very well. That's the biggest piece of advice I can have. Is make the content you would want to watch. I gotta get Monster Arts Shinagawa Kiryu It's So Peak. Yeah, I used to have that one a while back. It's a pretty cool figure. I've got so many things coming soon. I have the Art Adams signed Godzilla Ultimates, the collector's edition Shin Godzilla with some shirts, and the final battle Godzilla. That is pretty stacked shopping list. Pretty cool. Hiya needs to release the figures they've announced and stop showing so many new figures. Look, I'm happy about what we're being shown, but please release them. I'd like to actually get them. I don't think that this is an unpopular opinion. I feel like every Hiya solicitation now, the top comment is just like, hey, this is cool, but can you release some of the stuff that you announced last year? That'd be nice. Meguro Goji or another version of that suit needs a figure from SH Monster Arts. I agree. I think we need Megalon too. I'm gonna have to bounce. Take it easy, y'all. Protect trans kids. Fuck Trump. Fuck Musk. We'll live through this, and things will get better. All the best to you and yours, Canuck. Thank you, Jax. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for continuing to be a channel member. Donnie Winter. Hi, Casey. Hope you're doing well. Donnie, thank you so much. I hope you're doing well too. Donnie is also a teacher, teaches creative writing, and yeah, I was actually talking to him this past week because, you know, things were going well, and you know, wanted to touch base with Donnie. Donnie's a gem. Love Donnie. Great dude. Hiya 2002 Atomic Breath actually looks good. I don't get the hate for the sculpt. It looks pretty good. I think that there's still something off about it, but I'm not sure. Highest 2002, both normal and heat ray may not look one-to-one source, but I feel like the sculpt we have right now could look good for a Godzilla and Hell comic. That's what I'm going to use it for. Yeah, there you go. Why do you think Super 7 didn't opt to have their translucent burning Godzilla to not have an articulated jaw? Seems weird since they're shimmering one of the LEDs. That's one. Okay, this is a great question and something I've been answering on Discord. You have to remember that the final battle Godzilla with the hinged jaw does not yet exist. It doesn't exist, right? Like, it's still in the pre-order period. It doesn't exist. So that's why this one doesn't have it. Now, you could say that like it would have been nice to like wait until that did exist, but they probably planned this production run like 8 months ago, long before the final battle one even came out. So that's why, because the hinge jaw actually physically does not exist yet. Sometimes I'm very scared to move a Toho Ultimates Heisei Godzilla neck because of risk of breaking it. Your Toho Ultimates Godzilla neck should not be a fragile thing. If you got it recently, then I would say, you know, Super 7's customer care is there to take care of you if it does break, because it shouldn't break, and they've been quite clear about that. Honestly, like out of all the types of figures I own, like the Super 7 Ultimates are the most durable. They've taken shelf dives and they've been completely fine. So yeah, if you're worried it's going to break because it feels stiff, then use like a heat treatment, whether that's water or a hair dryer or something, to try and loosen it up a little bit. But yeah, the Ultimates figures in general, they shouldn't be breaking. What type of teacher are you? Sorry, this is news to me right now. High school, college. So post-secondary, after high school. Yeah. Buy your boss beer and be careful with him and stay safe. Thank you. SHMA Hiya Beef is dumb. I agree. Hiya Ghidorah pushed other figures off my shelf that were there first, like the bully he is. Yeah, I agree. Like between the Hiya Ghidorah and the Super 7 Destroyer, like that's like one of my entire shelves. Like those are some beefy dudes. What 2025 releases are you most looking forward to? So 2025, so like end of this year. Godzilla 2001 from Hiya Toys. There are some really cool Godzilla Day things coming from Super 7 that I can't talk about, but in a month and a half, you'll see them yourself. And what's coming out from Monster Arts? Destroyer's in December. Ghidorah's in November. Godzilla 2000 is this month. What's the October release? I can't remember. But yeah, I would say the Hiya 2001, and then there's some really cool Super 7 stuff coming for Godzilla Day. What is the best Monster Arts figure you got? This one. Mostly because I don't have too many of them anymore. That stuff just dove off the shelf. Next Hiya announcement is Dr. Sarazawa. Totally true, no cap. That's really funny. Did you hear that from Titan Tracker, or did you find that from 4chan? I don't know what the difference is. I feel like Hiya needs to slow down and stop announcing figures and focus on it. This is not an unpopular opinion. This seems to be the prevailing opinion every time they show something on Instagram. Donnie, I second that advice on community building and content creation. Yeah, I agree. I hear that people are saying with the whole just enjoy both lines thing, and by all means, but do that. But if you've been collecting SH like I have for years, you start to get burned by all their issues. Then stop buying it, my man. Like, I don't want you to get burned. right? At some point, you've got to let go of the line, right? If you just keep hoping that it will turn into something that it's not, you're gonna get burned. And I don't want you to get burned. So if you're going to Hiya, great, go to Hiya and enjoy Hiya. But there's still like a whole group of people that really enjoy Monster Arts. And I think that the line is probably the most successful that it's ever been in terms of reception and sales. So like, I totally get it. I totally get the frustration with a line not meeting the expectations that either you have for it or that the line has set up for itself from an earlier period where it was good, okay, or was better than it is currently. Yeah, I I'm certainly in the camp of people. It's like you can enjoy both. You know that the brand wars thing is dumb, because I think it is dumb for the most part. And there's so much opportunity out there to buy things that you vibe with, and I think that we should just focus on that, because it wasn't too long ago when it was just Monster Arts, right? Back in 2020, Neko lost the license. It was just Monster Arts for a long time, for a long time. But now you have all these different companies doing different things, and rather than just like focusing on companies' goods that I don't really enjoy, I'd rather just collect the things that I do like. My cousin is a big fan of yours, having watched your Hiya Godzilla Evolved review. Oh, well, that's very sweet. Donnie Winter, you're a gem too. Donnie, you're the first gem. You should do a collection tour next year. Guys, I don't think that my collection is as impressive as you think it might be. I don't collect a lot of stuff. I'm gonna be posting like maybe some collection shots on Instagram. But yeah, I don't think my collection is anything to write home about. I've been collecting Monster Arts for over a decade, and I think it's fine to enjoy both lines. Yeah, that's what I agree with. Issues Hiya doesn't seem to have prices, quality control, and accessories that we don't get a lot from Monster Arts. I like being able to take my figures out of the box and not feeling like they're gonna break. I'm with you there, man. Like Monster Arts figures, I definitely feel are more delicate than Hiya figures, or even Super 7 figures by a huge margin, right? In terms of like a action figure that I can play with, like something like this is not going to hold up to the same scrutiny that my Hiya Godzillas are going to. But I also don't think that they're intended to. And maybe people will think that I'm just making excuses for the line, but that's genuinely what I think. My cousin is a big fan of yours. Where did you get your Kiryu hat? My brother-in-law got this in Japan for me. Yeah. From the Godzilla store. I've had Hiya figures fall apart and out of the box, and quality control is a problem with my figures. I don't. Okay, two guys seem to be getting into it. I've also seen quality control issues with Hiya, although I do think that the nature of how Hiya figures are constructed, I see less QC issues with those guys. And it might just be to the fact that there's way fewer moving parts. Do you think Monster Arts is gonna make name called? I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. You're such a great kaiju teacher. Well, thank you. Are your students aware that you make content? No, my students don't know. Most of my colleagues don't know either. Blue Raspberry Monster Arts is a Godzilla in my eye. These are one of the statements of all time. I wonder if Super 7 will make a Toho Ultimates Godzilla 2002 sometime in the future. And plus, hopefully, BBTS will get all the Hiya Toys Godzilla stuff soon. So I don't know about Ultimates, but there is the Super Kaiju Godzilla 2002 that's due next month from Target. Okay. Michael from Articulation Series has just sent me a link for the hat that I'm wearing from the Godzilla store. So I'm going to post it in chat. If you would like to purchase the hat that is on my head, there you go. I'd love for anyone to do figures of human characters, Dr. Sarazawa, Fei Ray, the Exilians. Yeah, I think that's something that people have been asking for. I know that some of the folks that are kind of interested in reaction would be much more interested in reaction if they got into human stuff. I just don't know if it would pull the numbers that they would need. What Hiya really needs to focus on is just making a time machine. Just steal your own stock from the future. Big brain tactics. That's so funny. Sometimes Hiya has better articulation than Monster Arts. For example, the Ghidorah figures and 91 figures. I don't know if that's... I don't know if it's true that the Hiya ones are more articulate. Maybe the tail, actually. The Godzilla, the 91 Hokkaido Godzilla, that tail articulation is ridiculous. But both the Ghidorah and the 91 Hokkaido articulation are leagues better than what's come before from Hiya. So much to choose from. Stick with what you enjoy. Wise words from the articulation series. I'm convinced that companies see the success that Super 7 has with releasing secondary characters and then follow suit. Maybe. It could be. Enjoying both is disloyal. Coke or Pepsi, WWE or AEW, Monster Arts or Hiya. Choose this day whom you will serve. That's funny. What characters would you want from the Fun line? Personally, I would want me Baragon and Shin Godzilla. Okay, so I want GMK Baragon, 100%. I also think that Batra Larva would be fun in Fun. Those are the two that I would really root for. Emperor Antonio will do a collection tour. Emperor Antonio, I'm sure, has like a crazy collection. I would definitely watch that collection tour. What is your favorite Bandai MMS figure? I like the 2023 Titanosaurus figure, but the Baggin is also really cool. Articulation series has joined. That's surprising. Articulation series was here from the 5-minute mark. Michael's been chilling in the background for quite a long time. I was very disappointed and sad that at the same time my Monster Arts Godzilla Night Combat Shin Godzilla figures arm joint broke, which I got for my birthday from 2023 on BBTS. I'm sorry to hear that happened. Hopefully you're able to get an exchange or a refund on it. Who is your favorite Godzilla YouTuber? You can choose yourself if you want. That's so narcissistic. No, I'm a big fan of what Rob does. Shin Rob Jira. I think that Rob really enjoys himself, and that enthusiasm I personally enjoy watching. Yeah, no, I think Rob is fantastic. Yeah, he's probably the biggest one I can think of. But there are so many great Godzilla YouTubers, right? Like, it's like you're asking me to pick my favorite kid, which is funny because Rob is my nephew. Did you see in the back of the packaging for the new reaction figures, they had Destroyer on the roster of characters? I did see that. I've actually seen the Reaction Destroyer, and I think it's a fantastic toy, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm no psychologist, so take this with some salt, but what some people are describing seems like collecting addiction or even a form of Stockholm Syndrome. Hey, listen, we're all armchair psychologists to some extent. I definitely agree that there's a phenomenon that happens where people seem to continue with lines, collecting lines, in hopes that those lines will eventually do something other than what they are currently doing. And I don't think that that's healthy, and in some ways it just perpetuates the wheel. It keeps the wheel turning. Right? Like, you're buying these figures in hopes that they'll be something more than what they are, but all that does is tell the company, oh, like, people are buying these things for what they are. Let's keep making them in the way that we're making them. Right? So I definitely can see where you're coming from. For a long time, I think Monster Arts has gotten away with not needing to worry about Hiya toys. But the sense that I have is that Hiya is now sort of unignorable. I'm not saying that this will lead to massive, drastic changes on Tamashii Nation's part, but I think that they'll have to think a little bit more carefully about what they're doing in comparison to other market alternatives. I love 98 Goji so much, and I hope eventually, I hope someone makes one, hopefully Hiya, but SH isn't bad at all. He was my first Goji movie. Yeah, it would be really cool for G98 to get some love. I mean, Bandai did the 98 movie monster series figure. They weren't able to bring it to the US, unfortunately. But that seems like a good test bed to see if there's interest for it. What is the worst quality control you've ever seen on a figure? Yeah, man. So I pre-ordered the 2019 King Ghidorah Monster Arts figure at EB Games, which is the Canadian version of GameStop. And before it arrived, I was seeing all these videos on QC issues with that figure. And so when I got there, I was talking to the guy who owns the store, and I was like, hey, man, like, listen, I pre-ordered this thing, and I'm starting to see all these videos about how the QC is not great. And I just want to know what my options are. Like, if I actually buy this and take it from the store, like, and it's a dud, what's going on? He said, look, I'm happy to let you open it here before you pay for it in full. And if there are any issues, we'll just send it back to the manufacturer. So I said, okay, open up the Ghidorah 2019, and the neck joints start popping out. I was just like, okay, like, it's a Monster Arts figure, and you know, it's not unusual for joints to pop out. I got like 3 neck joints popped out, and the third time when I went to pop it back in, the socket for the ball joint literally disintegrated. It literally crumbled to dust. And like, the manager and I just sort of looked at it, and he said, okay, I'm going to take it back. So personally, the worst quality control I've ever seen on figure was that. Like, and in front of my eyes. Like, this wasn't a YouTube video. It wasn't a forum post. It was in front of my eyes. This Ghidorah 2019 Monster Arts figure disintegrated. That was definitely the worst I've ever seen. Okay. I feel like when Hiya does a Burning Godzilla repaint, I want it to be similar to the Monster Arts 1995 Ultimate Burning Godzilla with the orange tail spines. I agree. I would love to have a Hiya ultimate Burning Godzilla with orange spines the whole way. That would be I would like that too. Hiya needs to make that guy who eats corn from Showa. Oh, that's so funny. Godzilla versus Megalon human characters are needed, and especially the dolphin boat. I need a toy of the dolphin boat. That would be fun. That would definitely be fun. I hope the Hiya Burning Godzilla 1995 is translucent. It's fine if it's not, but it would be cool if it was. I agree. I really hope that it's translucent. If they don't do it translucent, then I feel like their work would be cut out for them. Let's see. Thomas, KaijuTopia. So this is where all the cool Godzilla fans hang out on a Thursday night. Welcome in, Thomas. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Loving the photography that you're posting on Instagram. Again, seems like somebody who is just really enjoying what they do with the hobby. And that's all you need, man. That's all you need. I need someone to do Godzilla X Power Ranger figures. I agree. The fact that Super 7 hasn't done it feels like money left on the table. Same, man. I really hope it's translucent too. Yes. I hope that the Hiya 95 is translucent. What is your favorite Godzilla figure in your collection? It's a good question. I'm a big fan of the Dark Horse Godzilla from Super 7. I'm a big fan of the 91 Hokkaido from Hiya, and I'm a big fan of the legendary Godzilla from Monster Arts. So those are the 3 answers. What is your favorite Godzilla poster? Probably Terror of Mechagodzilla. I really like that Japanese one. Yeah. I've never seen you and Rob in the same room, so my headcanon thinks you're still choosing yourself. That's funny. Wait, is Rob really your nephew? Yes. He is my nephew from New Jersey. I think I'm thinking of getting the Monster Arts Scar King. Does he scale well with Hiya Shimo? No, because the Hiya Shimo is a little bit too small and the Monster Arts Scar King is a little bit too big. So when you put them together, it just looks kind of whack. There are addiction elements to buying action figures. People are able to get dopamine hits when they purchase something. Yes, I agree. Monster Arts Thanos Ghidorah. Yes. Yes. Collecting like anything else is fine in moderation. When the collection owns you, that's a problem. 100%. 100%. I agree with this very much. And it's probably a big reason. It's probably a big reason as to why my collection is not that impressive. Like, I've really slowed down on the pieces that I do buy. And I'd like to curate a collection rather than just like collect everything at this point. And to be quite honest, like, I can see myself getting to a point where if Hiya or Super 7 are sending me things to review on the channel, that like I might review them and then I might sell them, because even if I like them, perhaps they don't spark enough joy for me to actively use the little shelf space that I have anymore. Sorry, I just need to reply to my wife real quick. All right. Unhealthy amounts of collecting, wall-to-wall shelves, and enough money spent on plastic to pay for a down payment on a house. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely part of it, right? Like, ever since I had a kid, I've had to really hone in on what I'm collecting. So, yeah, don't let your collecting be, something that consumes you. Are you hyped to see Godzilla X Kong Supernova figure? Of course I am. Yeah. Let's see. What's your most anticipated figure coming out? Last time you said you were hyped for the Trendmasters colored Space Godzilla from Super 7. What are you most excited about these days? Super 7 Ultimates Wave 6. Yeah, there's one figure in particular in Wave 6 that I'm really excited for, because it's not a character. It's a character that I haven't really had present on my shelf, that I've been waiting for representation. So that's what I'm excited for. I don't know when it'll be. I'd like to say it's going to be Godzilla Day 2025. I doubt it. I think that 2025 Super 7 will do another round of like in-stock stuff, and then push Wave 6 to, let's say, February, like they did with Mothra and Batra earlier this year. Hope Hiya Toys have Gamera, Pacific Rim, King Kong, and Ultraman licensed. That'd be pretty cool. What do you think Godzilla smells like? Just kidding. He probably smells like fish. By the way, I wasn't trying to start line beef or imply people are wrong with, like, I was just sharing what I was thinking. I don't know why this always gets touchy in the toy community. No, it's all good, man. I don't think it's not you. Like, nothing you said was wrong. But there are definitely other people that stoke the flame a lot more than you do. I think that you're just someone who's like, I have a very clear preference of what I want in a Godzilla toy line. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But then on the other side, and I think it's, admittedly, I think it's a lot of younger folks, and quite a few children who are just be like, Monster Art's bad. Right. And it just gets so frustrating. It just gets so frustrating to talk about. So I think that's where the frustration comes with, not with you specifically. If you could have only one Godzilla figure, what would it be? Like, if I were to keep only one Godzilla figure out of what I already have, if I could only keep one, I think it would probably have to be the Hiya Hokkaido Godzilla. I feel like it's a really well articulated figure at a good price point of a very, like, iconic Godzilla. So that's what I would say. Yeah. Agree or disagree? The NECA Godzilla movie poster boxes are amazing. I think NECA's poster boxes were fantastic. You put that poster art on a packaging, I think it does great. Curation is best, in my opinion. Making the best collection you can instead of the most collection you can. Yeah, this is so right. So right. So right. Like, on my shelf right now, there's no way for me to really show it to you guys, But like, I have my -1 Ultimate Super 7s with the Shogun Ultimates behind them. It makes no sense for me to do that, but I look at it and I'm like, I really love how that looks. Right? So that's, you know, that's what I think. I think Monster should try to fix some QC problems, especially the joints popping off. If you breathe on them wrong, besides that, their figures are awesome. Cool. The addicts are, to me, the hoarders who can't even be bothered to pose their figures and just have them all standing, stacked with zero care or passion. Dusty AF. Oh, man. Yes. Okay, I was gonna say something, but I don't want it to be perceived as me like talking badly about somebody else. But this vein, like hoarding figures just all standing, like not displayed with care. Like I saw a video not too long ago of a collection like that, and it just made me think, like, man, that this doesn't seem like you're enjoying collecting. This just seems like you're hoarding. But then are you a real Godzilla fan if you don't have a calyx full of identical Godzilla figures? That's really funny. Because I sold my calyxes in favor of Billy bookshelves. A Hiya Gamera would be amazing. I definitely agree with that. Hiya Gamera would be really cool, and a whole Hiya line would be pretty sweet. Hiya Gamera figures would be amazing. I hope that happens along with Pacific Rim. Yeah, that's another one that would be cool. The Hiya Ghidorah is still stinking up my room, man. It's been a week. The 91 Goji came in. Is it like, is your Hiya Ghidorah like releasing gases or something? Some people make hating monster arts their personality. Yep. My only issue with monster arts figures is price. Otherwise, they're decent figures. I can understand that for sure. I definitely understand that. Do you have any SH Figuarts figures? No, I do not. I do not have any SH Figuarts figures. I have a community member / friend who said that he would like to send me a Dragon Ball Z Figuarts figure. And I told him that, like, if you send me it, I'm happy to review it as a courtesy, but I know nothing about Dragon Ball. Like, I don't know what that video would look like. But, you know? So maybe I will own one at some point. I moved last year and realized how few things I owned over the years didn't spark joy anymore. I sold, gave away, or threw out a ton of stuff for it. Felt way better afterwards. Yeah, man. I recently had to put all my stuff into storage because I was having some work done on the house, and same revelation. Half the shit is still in boxes because, like, it doesn't spark enough joy for me to, like, put it out. So now I'm just trying to figure out what the play is. Meanwhile, I have all this stuff here. Again, you guys can't see it, that I have displayed, and it's displayed in it, and I think it looks awesome. It makes me really happy looking at it. But then I have all this stuff down the hall, boxes and boxes that I just don't care about anymore. So I have to figure out how to get rid of that and try to dial in on the curation of stuff as we were talking about before. Billy works, but I bucked the trend by using my Falbo for my Kongs. That's funny. I found Godzilla iPhone cases, but they are buns in quality but look fire. Yeah, I mean, they're probably not licensed, so their quality is probably not the best. The fact we don't have a poster version destroyer from Super 7 is crazy. That would be cool at some point. They're gonna get into some pretty deep areas in the next year or so. Might not be what you expect, but there's some cool stuff coming. Maybe I won't do a collection walkthrough. That's so funny. Sorry, man. I'm sorry if you feel attacked there. Toku Society, welcome in, man. Hope you're doing well. Pluto, good to see you, dude. Hope you've been great, man. Have you been able to get your Grayscale Thirsty for Blood? I did not buy the Grayscale Thirsty for Blood because I have the green one. Yeah, I have the green one with the mini art atoms. I didn't feel particularly compelled to get the Grayscale one. I think that I like the green one more, and I already have the green one. So, you know, with the higher prices and the tariffs and then import charges and all that stuff, I just didn't feel like spending the money on a figure that I'm not like in love with. So, and I feel like I already have a version I love. So no, I don't have it. But for the folks that did buy it, I hope that you guys love it. And let me, I did want to take a chance to say, guys, like, you know, a lot of people have been supportive in using my affiliate links, and I am just super grateful for that. People that choose to support me in using the links that I post, it goes a really long way in supporting me, being able to do some stuff with this channel. So I'm super grateful all the time when people choose to use my links. Of course, you don't have to. It's not an expectation. That would be stupid. But lots of people do it, and I'm just super thankful. It doesn't tell me anything about who's doing it or, you know, anything like that. But I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, people that go out of their way to use my affiliate links. It makes a huge difference. So thank you, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. The support on the Grayscale Thirsty for Blood was like crazy good. So that's what I was really just shocked to see how well it had sold through affiliates, and like I said, just goes a long way. So thank you, guys. It's just got that strong smell coming off of it, you know, like a fresh vinyl smell. Buy vinyl, fresh vinyl. Oh man, love me a good fresh vinyl review. 2001 Baragon, I jump on. Just want to play with it going, yeah. That's funny. I threw away a lot of NECA stuff. Never have I regretted as much stuff. My Mezco 112 are €100 plus each, yet I regret those 20 to 40 euro NECAs more than anything I ever had. The QC is just trash. Yeah, I recently sold all my NECAs again because I just, they don't spark joy, and I didn't have room for them anymore. A whole lot of client work. Well, keep him busy though. Hopefully making that money, my man. I really thought that Godzilla -1 minus color Ultimates figure would be rare, and I see one on eBay for only $90. The minus color version of that Ultimate figure is not great, man. I gotta say. Yeah, that one had some real quality control issues. The best one is definitely the charging variant. The charging -1 Ultimate figure is fantastic. If you're gonna get one, that's the one to get. And if you have that one already and you're looking for the next one, I would say the blazing one from San Diego Comic-Con, because that one is a great colorway. SH makes good figures. It's just for the QC problems. If I found one for a decent price, I would buy it. Yeah, seems right. My favorite things in my con collection are actually the weird things like Fay Ray Barbie, Fay Ray stamps, vintage items, custom model kits. Not so much the identical action figures. Yeah, man, it's like the niche little things. Speaking of which, I got this like 2 weeks ago, but I haven't found time to do anything with it. But let me just get this out of the way. But I wanted to film a reel with this. So this is the Where the Wild Things Are blind box flat from Super 7. I was like super excited when, and now it's gonna blur everything. I was super excited when this got announced, and I went and I bought the flat. But I've been meaning to record some stuff for it, but haven't had a chance to yet. But it's like the little things like this that excite me more now than like the super duper articulated, highly accurate action figures, for sure. New Kamacuras figures when? 2026. I think if Super 7 did Godzilla figures based on the comics or video games like Dark Horse, Cybersaur, Super Godzilla, etc., they would make a killing. I agree with you there. 100%. GMK Baragon, the GOAT. I'm waiting for Hiya Final Goji reveal and hope for minus Goji too. Hiya Final Goji, I think, is coming sooner rather than later. Minus Goji, I don't have much confidence in. I gave up on NECA back in the thousands after not having a single positive experience with them. I haven't looked back since. I definitely see like some people have that experience with NECA. Like some people have not had a single positive experience with NECA for the most part, I was okay with that guy. I definitely did get some dud figures, and they took care of me when they could. But yeah, it's crazy to see. It's crazy to see like how different of experience people have in that guy. I have Godzilla 2014 and Godzilla 2024 pre-evolved, both from Hiya Toys. That's pretty cool. What's that? Some kind of Labubu blind box? No, so this is Super 7 reaction figures where the wild things are. Yeah. So, oh my god, all the blur. So there's a max figure and then 3 of the monsters or the wild things. 3 3/4 inch. Yeah. I think I get depressed when I look at my Monster Arts Heat Ray GXK Goji. It's aesthetically pleasing in certain aspects, but the way it falls apart kills my mood. So I understand. Yeah, the QC on that was a little bit spotty from what I understand, but mine seems to be okay. Wait, is Hiya Final Goji actually confirmed? It's not confirmed, but they're doing Monster X. So, you know, I'd like some figures from Monster Arts or Hiya to make a Resident Evil monster. Yeah, that'd be cool. Because Hiya's in with Capcom now, right? Because they're doing Mega Man and what was the other one? What was the other one? Like Contra. Yeah, so they're in with Capcom. I think that they'll get to Resident Evil. That'd be pretty cool. I feel like during Wonderfest, they're going to reveal either Destroyer, Kiryu, or Godzilla 2004. I don't think they'll do Destroyer because of Monster Arts. Maybe. It's the 30th anniversary, so maybe. I think that Kiryu or Godzilla 2004 is much more expected. Same for me. I used to collect their Alien and Predator stuff in the mid to late 2010s up until like 2020. It was so bad. I sold them all. And even though I've heard they got better, I have no desire. Yeah, it's just really interesting to see like how their reputations have been so divergent. What's your favorite food? Mine is pizza. Mine is sushi, which is probably not great for you if you're a big shrimp. Dead Space would be super cool too. Oh man, dude, I would love a line of Dead Space figures. I seen Figma made an Isaac Clarke. I don't fuck with Figma that much, right? Like, yeah, I would love a Dead Space figure. I think it'd be cool. A bit off topic and late, but the Silent Hill 2 ambiance still haunts me to this day. Silent Hill 2 is my favorite game. Dino Crisis would be peak. This is now a video game stream. Speaking of which, I have been really busy with Silk Song. Silk Song has been awesome. Rob and I are actually playing it at the same time, and we're like comparing notes, so like where each of us are. Yeah, I can't believe Silk Song is actually here and that we're playing it. Hot take, but Isaac Clarke is one of my favorite characters in gaming history. I don't know if that's a hot take. Why would that be a hot take? Nah. All right, I've finally caught up with chat. You said Super 7 will be posting a promotional video for the final Battle Godzilla. Is that still happening soon? That was the plan. It's weird to me that it hasn't happened yet. So I do plan on reaching out to Brian, maybe tomorrow, and seeing if I can get some time to chat with him and see if we can get some footage of the prototype. So yeah, I know the plan was to put it up so that it was to put up the figure for order when they had a prototype so that they could show off the lighting features. So my guess is that either the video is coming or it still wasn't ready, and they were like, well, we should probably solicit this thing and just like trust that people have faith in our LEDs. I guess that's what's going on. I got Giga Bash this week with the DLC. Anything to play as Guy again. That's pretty cool. Isaac Clarke is such an amazing character. Isaac Clarke's an amazing character and one of my favorite characters. Yeah, he's cool. Super obscure, but Dishonored figures would be a dream. Yeah, one of my best buds. He loves Dishonored. I never got into Dishonored, but yeah, he's like super into it. Come on, guys, you caught up. Right. That's funny. Dead Space 2023 is my second favorite survival horror game. Oh my gosh, dude, that was the perfect example of a remake done properly. Yeah, Dead Space 2023 is fantastic. Speaking of aliens, I'm really excited for Mondo's Kenner Mantis Alien. Yeah, are they doing like proper action figures as well, or is it just vinyls? Either way, like they're gonna be making great stuff. Great stuff. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Mine is Elf. Elf is fantastic. It might be my favorite too. I haven't really thought about it. Cascade, Mondo, Kenner Aliens. Yeah, man. Look up Mondo soft vinyl, the Mantis Alien. It looks fantastic, and there's down a green and a pink one so far. What franchise would you like to see a Hiya Super 7 or Monster Arts treatment? Shadow of the Colossus. I need Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus is the thing that would bankrupt me. Titanosaurus needs articulated figure. I agree. Full stop. I don't need to read the rest of the comment. Super 7 revealed a banger wave of Silverhawks, and it's a pre-sale, not pre-order. As for games, I'm playing No Man's Sky while watching the stream. You love this game. That's cool, man. I know No Man's Sky was one that came out and had a really lukewarm reception, but they've been really working really hard to improve that game, and I think that they've got to it. So yeah, that's really cool. And yeah, I did see the Silverhawks wave. Looks really cool. I don't know anything about Silverhawks, but I thought it was really crazy to see that it was a pre-sale containing 4 brand new sculpts. I thought that was whack. NECA's Godzilla had some good, especially the Monsterverse and video game, but what made them stick out outside of being articulated was the price. Yes, that's definitely true. Shrimp, I have tried Ghost of Tsushima. I didn't like it very much, to be honest. And not that it was bad, but it just didn't stick with me. So yeah, that's sorry, I'm just just Lataro was asking to see the Mondo stuff, so I'm just sending him an image now. Do you think Super 7 could ever announce DX Deluxe Godzilla cheap version Ultimates line? I'm not talking about Super Kaiju. No, I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Yeah, the Ultimates. Yeah, they're just so large. Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to bring the price point down. SH72 looks so good, but I haven't seen one yet. It looks so good, but you haven't seen one yet. I'm not sure I understand. There are so many new survival horror games in recent years, not just Silent Hill 2 and Dead Space, but the Resident Evil remakes and games too. I'm so happy about that. I agree. I am really interested in the Silent Hill F game. I think it comes out next week, or maybe is it tomorrow? Does it come out tomorrow? Anyway, I'm looking forward to picking up Silent Hill F. Hope the Silent Hill remake is as good as the Silent Hill 2 remake. Yes, I agree. Larva Train, hello. Good to see you. I personally love the game. I think the battles are very engaging, but hey, everyone has their own opinions. So I respect your opinions. Yeah, man, like again, it's probably a me problem. I fully acknowledge that me not liking Ghost of Tsushima is a me problem because everyone else seems to love it. So yeah, that's neither here nor there. Okay, guys, it's been just over 2 hours. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much to Antonio and to Robo Lizard for the kind donations. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be able to do this again sometime soon. And I won't have to wait another fucking like 6 months or whatever, however long it took me to do the stream again. But all is good with me. I hope all is good with each of you. Take care. Have a lovely night. It was so nice to see you all. And hopefully I'll talk to you guys again soon. So thank you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a great night. Oh, thank you. Emperor Antonio. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. Your support means a lot to me. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.